This is nuts. It's just nuts. What is up, my Homestead homies? I don't know if you can hear that, but that's snow crunching underneath my feet. Because you can probably see, here, we'll come back around this way. It is a winter wonderland. I don't know if you guys know Jim Gaffigan, the comedian, but he posted on Facebook something to the effect of, okay, March, we get it. You can do a great January impression. And that's kind of what I feel like is going on here. Like, March just won't give up. We had beautiful weather in February, and now we're paying for it in March. I think it's supposed to get up to 42 today and start raining and maybe melt some of that stuff, but then it's just going to be a mess. This is nuts. It's just nuts. I'm going to milk now, so see you later.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm pretty sure that means we're going to have piglets sometime in the not too distant future. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. I believe, if I remember correctly, when a sow is in heat, instead of walking away from a boar, she will actually stand there for the boar. And that's obviously what's happening right now. So this means that we probably will be having, I'll have to check the gestation period for piglets, but I'll mark this date down on the calendar and check that, and maybe we'll be having piglets soon.
So I checked, and a pig's gestation period is 115 days on average, which would put us at July 11th for piglets. So we will see. If she doesn't come back into heat in 21 days, we will know she's pregnant, and we will plan for pigs in July.
Okay, honestly, it's a little hard to be too upset because look at this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The snow is covering the trees and it's just pretty. But I'd rather have this prettiness, you know, first thing in the fall, you know, like in November. And then it'd be like, oh, it's great. I want the prettiness now where the leaves are on the trees and the flowers are blooming. When do we get that?
Hey guys, I just got back from a visitation service for a father of some very dear friends of ours. You can see it started to warm up here. You can probably hear in the background the water is melting off of the roof and it's becoming really good packing snow. So hopefully within the next couple days this will all have melted.
Okay guys, so I've got the pots. I'm going to use this for one of the terrariums. It'll fit perfectly there. I've got a pretzel container for this one, and then some sliced peaches containers from Costco for the other two. So the first thing I need to do is cut the top off of this one so that we can put it over top of the pot. That should fit perfectly like that. Okay, so I've got this cut out. I've got all the tops here. Now, supposedly you're supposed to be able to do this with just putting them in wet potting soil. You can also do it with rooting hormone, and it just gives them a better leg up on making roots. So I am going to use rooting hormone because I have some. So you don't want to contaminate rooting hormone from one plant to the next. So what you do is you just take a little bit, you put it in a dish, and then you throw it away when you're done so that from one plant to the next, or one type of plant to the next, it doesn't transfer diseases or anything. Whoa, that was a lot more than I wanted. And you really just need a little bit. So, if I get this stuff off my hands here, I'm just put it in here. You need a very little bit of the rooting hormone, and then you tap it off, and you're good to go. So I'm going to try these purplish roses first, and the stems aren't that long, so I'm not sure how many cuttings I'll get out of them. And I think they're stuffed into like a piece of foam in there that they use for making flower arrangements. So I'm gonna try to make this as long as I can while still having it be living. So there will be one. Let's see if we can get 2 out of this one. There's 2. Okay, so we have our cuttings. I'm going to go ahead and water this soil so that it is good and damp. Okay, so here's what it looks like after I've dampened the soil. I am going to go ahead and, so what I'll do is, I'm going to take this, I'm going to dip it in water, I'm going to dip it in the rooting hormone, you tap it on the edge just to get any extra off, and then I just stick it down into the soil. So I'll do that for all of these cuttings. So there they are. I got 5. Now I just need to keep them wet, so I'll put this over top, kind of seed it down into here, and the roses are done. I had been keeping them on this plate because that pot has a hole in the bottom and I don't want water to go everywhere. So there's the roses. Now we move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip these. Actually, I'm gonna cut the leaf. I'm gonna leave the leaves on 2 of these and see how they go. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip this in water, dip this in the hormone, tap off the extra stuff, and stick it down in there. Water, hormone, tap. Good. Okay. Now that should be good for that one. And let's see if I can get all these in here if I put them too far apart. Nope, I think I did. Okay. So those ones are done. Now I think there's some daisies here. We'll give a shot and then we'll call it. Actually, my wife wanted to try this flower, and this has a more soft stem, so I'm not sure if this is going to take. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. We'll give it a shot with a couple cuttings, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work. So water, hormone. Okay, so I am going to take this and set it down here just so I know where I can plant and still be inside the container part of it. So let's give it a try.
Water? Is that added water in that?
You did say water.
Water in that? Added water in that?
Good thing you reminded me.
Water in that? Added water in that?
Yeah. Okay, so we got those. Now we're going to try some daisies. I think these are daisies. You tell me. Are these daisies?
Yeah?
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I can maybe get... I'm just going to do one long cutting out of each of them. I'm going to cut the already cut end off. So we've got a fresh end to start with. I'm going to try to leave them bottom end that way, so I know which way is up because I don't think it would go well if I reversed them and tried to plant the top end of the bottom. I think it has to do with how the water grows. Water, rooting,
and there,
water, rooting, water, rooting, not pruding.
Yeah, pudding.
Pruding? No, you think it's Prudence, our cow?
Pudding.
Prudence is our cow, that's right.
Pudding.
Okay, water.
Pudding with my cow
That-
and you cow.
And my cow and your cow, yep.
We're gonna get,
Okay, so
Cow.
I'm going to set this down over top, push it in there nicely, and we're done. Although I should probably take the wrapper off of this. Now we'll get more sunlight transmission. There we go. So I think they said it could take up to a month. Some people saw stuff in as few as a couple weeks. So I'm going to set these in the windowsill over there, and we'll see what happens. So I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, I wanted to show you, I don't know if you guys can see this here. There's a ton of rooting hormone left, like a ton. And I tried to put very little in here to begin with. This is the stuff that I have. And you can see, like, I didn't put hardly any in there. So it doesn't take a whole lot of rooting hormone to go a long way. So here we go. We've got them in the window. Now we will just have to wait. I will try to make sure that I keep the soil moist. I think that is the key to the whole thing. And we'll see if we get any more new growth.